It's just about trying to it's about trying to bridge. I know I'm a bridge. I'm a connector in a lot of different worlds. How many people do you know can go into as diverse communities as an inner city community and a super wealthy community and be able to relate to and communicate and be accepted by each community? That's how I've been since I was a kid. How can that not be a tremendously valuable personality trait? The ability to bridge such diverse communities. I've got that capability. And it's not at all about convincing this community what this community believes. It's about bringing us closer together. We've got to come closer together. And you can't believe that you're getting the real news and the real complete story by watching the television media news or reading your papers. Because there's not even just two sides to any story. There's multiple sides. And the only way to really get a feel for what's going on out in our world and what people are experiencing is to be present and to engage with those people. And there's just so much more potential that lies in front of us. And it's in all of our best interests to try to help one another and get closer to our full potential. Because it doesn't matter if you're the cream of the crop financially and you live in your bubble of a gated community and those things. You still go to restaurants. You still got to go to a gas station. You still have to have your car fixed. You still go to malls and shop. I mean, you're still engaging with people that are living very, very differently than you. And I'm just trying to bring us all closer together to understanding one another. And it doesn't mean I'm going to tell you, as I get more into this, and this is where I lose different, it's kind of a tough place to be in, and I know this is one of the reasons why I'm so isolated right now. And I will keep saying I'm on everybody's team and I'm on nobody's team. And what that means is I will share a belief that a certain group will be right with me, right? And they'll be right supporting me, and it'll piss off another group of friends or another group of people I don't know. And then I might share something that another group completely identifies with, that another group will completely be pissed off with. And the thing is all I'm trying to do, well, first and foremost, I'm following my truth and trying to just communicate different perspectives via my own personal beliefs, which come from my experiences, my direct experiences in all of these different communities. I have engaged for months with women that have been in jail. I have worked on an organic farm for 2.5 years with people who have had a very different life journey than the people I worked with at Microsoft, than the people I worked with in a rural, lower socioeconomic school in Plant City, Florida, where I taught. How about my graduate program, when I'm with other people pursuing teaching, and again, people coming from all walks of life pursuing teaching, and a graduate, engaging in higher education. Versus the work I've done with St. Anthony's Triathlon for 10 years, and engaging with these people in a very, very close-knit group of the triathlon world and the race world. via my athlete friends from Division I athletes, which leads into professional athletes. I mean, I am able to integrate into all of these communities, and I've got experiences in all of these communities. And the reason why I'm accepted in all of them is because of my inability, well, it's not even my inability to follow my truth, although it sort of plays in. When I would be in all these communities, I would just go to those parts of myself that aligned most with the majority of people in that community, and that's what I would focus on. That's kind of who the person I would be. So if I was with my athlete friends, I drew upon all the athlete components of me to best align with all of my friends. And it's not that I was being fake. This is why I say this role that I have in my life journey, this is not accidental. I have such a vast, vast spectrum of interests in life. I like everything from opera to football and everything in between. Honest to God. I can dress up and go to an opera and enjoy the night just as, not that I've been to one in a very long time. The first and only opera I've been to was in Sydney in 1998. But performing arts, let's just say the performing arts, which I haven't been to in a few years either, but I used to have, when I was married, we had, one of the things we loved to do together, my ex-husband and I, is when we went to the Performing Arts Center. Oh my God, I love Broadway. Love it. So I can dress up and have a night at Broadway, black tie type event. Not really, in Tampa, not very many people dress up in black tie and go to Broadway. But I can do that, and I can get dressed up and go to a football game and have an equally good time. Because that's how much I've engaged in life. And so what an amazing gift that I feel I'm blessed to have had. And now I want to use that. Now I know why. I've had these short stops at all of these different places in my life. All of these different places. PricewaterhouseCoopers. Then I went to start a nonprofit. Then I went to USF. Then I went to the Museum of Science and Industry. Then I was a waitress at Chili's. Then I went back to USF. Then I worked at Student Health Services as a graduate student. Then I became a teacher. Then I worked on a farm. Then I went to Microsoft. Now I'm starting what I am intending to be a worldwide company, just me, a worldwide message in my own dream that I've been working towards for all of these years. Like, who's got that many experiences and can relate to them and be able to share very real perspectives, very real, different, living perspectives out in the world, to be able to better explain rather than turn on MSNBC or Fox News and listen to these talking heads try to tell you what this group and this group thinks. And you really think that they're speaking for all people? No. No. Do you really think that what you're being shown on TV is representative of the masses? It isn't. And I'm not saying that we've got a super highly intellectual population. We don't. And that is why those of us that have this higher intellectual capacity, we have a greater responsibility to try to create some different avenues for those who are not going to be on that same path, who aren't going to be going to college and working the types of jobs that the super intelligent, book smart people are working. It's in all of our best interests to provide different avenues where these people that aren't intelligent in that way, but it's not that they're not intelligent, they just have different skills, different interests, and our world doesn't yet have avenues. We haven't blazed those trails yet. I have hundreds of ideas. on how to blaze these trails. And so many of them are relatively so cheap to implement. So, it's just, and that all plays into why I got stuck in proving it to this Microsoft cream of the crop, pinnacle of the male energy world, and that got me this far. When I predicted to that man, this VP, that I would be speaking to millions of people by July, with no knowledge of how I was going to do that, boy, did I set the bar here in that old game like that. I didn't realize I was doing that, but that's what I did, and that's why I busted my ass this year, because that was my goal. I wanted to prove to all of these mainstream people there's value, there's so much value in these other ways of living. It's not to make them feel guilty, it's not to make them feel bad, it's not to tell them they need to change anything, but it is to tell them it was coming from a little bit of the energy with kind of a chip, my old story chip on my shoulder, to say, will you give some respect? Will you lose your egos a little bit and believe that there are others out there who are equally as valuable as you in the world? You and your cream of the crop. I work for Microsoft. I do the most important work on the face of the earth. Because the truth of the matter is, as awesome as all the people I met were, there's that energy of Microsoft. There is a very, and it's not to say they don't deserve it.